Hi and welcome to another episode of the Silver Screen Show. I am Alenya and I am joined here tonight with Abu. How are you this week? What have you been up to?
I'm okay actually. I'm running up to the last week at work now, so I'm just an autopilot and just enjoying life.
So just chilling?
I'm just chilling and delegating all my work to new people, so it's all good.
You got to do those handovers though and everything, right?
It's fine. It's worth it.
Because soon I can leave, so it's fine.
But yeah, apart from that, yeah, I'm enjoying the nice cold weather. It's very nice.
Yeah, been up too much?
Nope.
No. We lead interesting lives outside of this. So
concise.
I guess we just jump straight into it. So the first film that we're going to be looking at tonight is Daddy's Home 2. It's another Christmas film that's come out before December, which hurts my insides, being the human version of the Grinch. But you've seen it, yes, so I will hand it over to you.
Okay, let me start. I'm going to go for my notes because I'm a very organised person.
Yeah.
Right, so I don't even need these notes. So Daddy's Home 2, if you watch Daddy's Home 1, it's pretty much the same film, starring the same cast, starring Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. If you play stepdads, there's a lot of stepdads in this movie, so it does get a bit confusing. So following on from the first film, you have Mark Wahlberg's character who now co-share the parenting duties with Will Ferrell's character. And with Christmas coming, the kids are like, yo, we have to do two Christmases with our two dads. It's a bit of a headache for us, so they thought, let's do one big Christmas together. So that's the plan for this. And before you know it, their dads end up crashing the party as well. So you got Mark Wahlberg's dad, played by Mel Gibson, who comes in, and you got Will Ferrell's character's dad, who's played by John Lithgow, who come in. So they both join the party as well, and shenanigans ensue, and people get hurt, and there's jokes galore, or kind of jokes. But yeah. So that's a summary. So
okay. So my first impression on seeing the trailer for this movie was it was kind of like the male version of A Bad Mum's Christmas.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. They're saying the post-credit scenes, the Bad Mums characters come in, then they make the new cinematic universe. The
we have another cinematic universe.
The stepdad, Bad Mums universe, metaverse that comes in. But no, I've actually seen Bad Mums, so I can't really comment on that. But it's got a similar vibe to it. It is just slapstick comedy, a bit of toilet humor, a bit of it's just like if you watch the other guys, you know, with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, which is so much more better, to be honest. I love the guys, one of my favorite films probably. But yeah, so they're playing that character. They got the Mark Wahlberg's the whole tough, you know, I don't have feelings, I'm the macho guy. And Will Ferrell plays like the timid, you know, I'm not very confident with myself, and they clash all the time. So that's the angle they're going for. And if Bad Mums, I'm not too sure what that entails, but it probably has a similar.
They're all really drunk.
They're all very drunk
most of the time.
So I mean, if I could summarize this movie, I mean, what's good about it is if you've liked the first Daddy's Home, you definitely like this one for sure, because it is pretty much the same movie.
So you saw the first one?
I've seen the first one. The first one isn't the best, but I enjoyed it. You know, you watch it, you have a few laughs, you leave, you know, end of story.
I guess it's not supposed to be like an Oscar winner.
It's not. It's not even a smart comedy. Like, you know, it's got depths and layers to the story. It is what it is. So, I mean, what I liked about it, Ferrell and Wahlberg always
good
I mean, since the other guys, they've had that partnership going on, the whole clash of personalities. That rocks. If you like the first part, you like this part for sure. What else? There are some actually funny moments in there, actually. I mean, so, you know, there are some scenes. But thing is, though, they're all in the trailers. So all the funniest parts are like the whole joke about you let your daughter touch the thermostat in your house. Yeah. So that's quite a good joke, actually. All the dads come in. There's so many layers to it. There's so many angles. But it's revealed in the trailer, and I've already seen the joke, so you kind of knew. So
you have that like knowing laugh rather than the like belly laugh that you're supposed to have when you
because it's a really well done joke, but then you realize I've seen this already, so it kind of takes away, and they kind of use all the aces in the trailers, which kind of does work against it. I'm like, you should at least save some jokes, but then again, nowadays people want to put out the trailers ASAP because they want to draw in the audiences, so they kind of put in their A-list stuff in the trailers and don't really leave much, you know, for a surprise, to be honest. Looking at it from a bad side of it, John Cena's in it for the last one, so I love John Cena.
Is he though? Did you see him?
I did not actually. For the first few days, like, who's this guy? I didn't see it. So he came out of the car, but so he's in the last film. It's like a little plot twist.
Yeah.
And he's in this one as well, but I don't think they utilized the John Cena character well enough. He's in it, but his lines are very like in the background, and like they should have played upon his character a lot more, because he's a good actor. He does a lot of SNL skits and stuff like
Isn't
that.
he in like the new Transformers like Bumblebee movie?
Is he?
I think so. I saw a picture, and I think it's a thing.
Yeah, so like he's not like there's so many jokes I could have had with him in it, but they just didn't go anywhere with it. I'm like, come on, guys, you got John Cena, you got his whole meme, his whole all the jokes around the internet right now. And they didn't use any of that, to be honest. They just made him around the mill, another stepdad. So there's 3 stepdads in this. So like it's like
wow.
Yeah, and I mean, and the storyline. I mean, looking at the storyline, it isn't the most consistent storyline. Like I said, it's a comedy, so you're not really gonna. You don't look at it thinking, yeah, it's gonna be a great storyline, but there are parts that do not make sense.
Yeah.
So like, there's a part where Will Ferrell's character passes out in the forest, and suddenly he just gets revived out of nowhere. It's like 1, 2, 3, and he just revives himself. I'm like,
when the kid was like, he's dead again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he revives him. I'm like, wait, how did he? What? He didn't have a defib with him. He wasn't doing any compressions. He just.
Don't get medical on us.
Yeah, so I'm not going to really think about it, but there are bits like that. And also story revelations, like there are certain characters in the film which, they got Mark Wahlberg's, not wife, his partner that he's with. She's like quite a spoiled mother. She spoils her kid, doesn't really do much parenting. And like you'd think she'd get her like comeuppance or something to make her change her ways. It doesn't really go anywhere. Like, she's just a bad mum for the entire film. I'm like,
segue into bad mums.
So I'm thinking, wait, surely there's gonna be some bit in the film that's I've just realised I'm not a very good mum. I should discipline my kid a bit more, be a bit more strict. But no, she just stays how she is. I'm like, okay, like why?
There's no character.
No character development there. But like I said, it is what it is. If you like the first one, you love this one, or you don't enjoy this one. If you didn't like the first one, don't watch it.
Probably not for you.
That's pretty much my.
So, have you got a short review for like 3 words?
My short review, what do I have here? Is if you've liked the first one, it's like the first, basically.
Like the first.
It's like the first. You like the first one, you like this. If not, stay away.
Yeah.
And don't complain if you don't like it.
I like how sometimes we do a review on something and then while we're doing it, we say, no, don't see this one, but just go see another one.
Go see the other guys. Seriously,
the other guys. This is what we do.
The other guys is amazing, but
this was like American Made for me when I was like, if you want to see an Escobar movie, go and watch The Infiltrator. It's what we do.
Actually, I just want to mention one thing. Going back to the film, like if they wanted to make it a bit interesting, they should have swapped the dads around. So Mark Wahlberg, Mel Gibson plays a rough. I'm like the senior Mark Wahlberg guy. And Will Ferrell's dad is also like a timid guy. I thought it would have been interesting if they had the dads of opposite personalities. Then that would have been okay, it's a bit more.
That would explain their sort of over exaggeration of that.
So my dad's very timid, so I'm going to be some alpha male, and my dad's very scary. I'm just going to be a bit of a recluse. But they didn't do that. They just went for the obvious way, which was each dad is pretty much the son.
It's simple though.
It's simple, yeah.
It's simple with simple laughs.
Exactly, yeah. Well.
All right, so we're going to move on to our next item. So you might have seen, if you've got a Netflix account, that The Punisher has come out.
Who doesn't have a Netflix account?
I mean, some people share them, I guess. But
the parasites.
Everyone has one, right? So The Punisher has come out. It came out last Friday. And obviously I watched it in about 4 days because I think The Punisher is one of my favourite characters because it's like no nonsense. Just you've done something to wrong me, so I'm just going to go and kill you. And so I've watched the entire series. You've watched
one episode.
One episode. So I think we've got sort of two different opinions on this. So The Punisher, if you watched Daredevil on Netflix as well, he's like a Marvel anti-hero, and there's conspiracies around him being in the army, and then the government have his family killed, and he goes after all of the people involved in killing his family and kills everyone. It's not.
There will be blood.
It's not a revelation. It's not a spoiler if you've seen any of the other Punisher movies, and even in Daredevil as well. The whole thing was explained. So now we're kind of in this series. We're after that, but more things start coming to light about how deep the conspiracy goes. And you start meeting some of his friends that he was in the military with, and we have Ben Barnes, who plays Billy Russo. Ben Barnes you might know from the Narnia movies. He plays Prince Caspian, and he's a beautiful man. And they
very important plot.
It's a very, very important piece of the plot, actually. Like, you joke about it, but it is because they mention it and they make jokes about it quite a lot. And I was watching it with my friend last week. We had about 5 episodes on Friday night, and we loved it purely because of just the unadulterated violence.
It is pretty.
It's so brutal and really, really bloody. And it was great. Like there were a couple of points where we were looking at it more critically and going, what?
With your actual critiquing the film.
Exactly, looking at it. Yeah, there's some gaping plot holes, but you don't care because it's John Bernthal being John Bernthal.
It's the action that you're really watching for.
Exactly, it's the action and the violence. So I love it.
Because I've only watched one, I can't really give a proper. And I like the first episode, it's really great actually. Like it does set it off really well.
Yeah.
So like moving on to that previous Netflix films, like Luke Cage, which was a bit disappointing. Daredevil 2 was a bit disappointing. Iron Fist, they were a bit below par. Like, did you really need a whole entire series for these characters?
Yeah.
So would you say this one, he deserves this entire show for himself, or do you think like it could have been put in the Daredevil storyline? Like,
I think I'm biased.
Yeah.
But I definitely, I think so, because you have all of these other characters that come in. You have another character who also everyone believes that Frank Castle is dead, and now he's Pete Castelloni or something like that. And you also have another character who's everyone believes he is dead, and he's part of the same conspiracy. So he finds Frank Castle and they team up, and they've got a really good relationship and they've got a bit of banter between the two of them, which is quite nice. There's a really nice scene where like they're in a van and Frank Castle's eating some like dried food stuff, like some military type, and the IT guy that he's teamed up with, the proper nerd, he's like made himself a full-on sandwich, and he's like, did you not make me one? He's like, you didn't ask.
I'll be your army guy.
Exactly, and they have a really nice.
Are there like cameos from like other shows in this, or?
Yeah, so the one that you have is Karen from the Daredevil series.
The journalist.
Yes.
Okay.
So she comes back into it.
The nurse. The nurse seems to be in all of them. She just.
No. The nurse wasn't in this one, because she spends more time in Luke Cage.
Yeah, but she always ends up in all of these shows like, oh, you're injured, let me heal you.
Yeah, she's
the cheat code.
She's the cheat code. So yeah, that's her. But then you also meet some more people. There's like a Homeland Security agent who wants to investigate the whole thing, and she's very heavily involved in it. And then the main conspirator, I guess, the like Agent Orange. It's quite interesting, and it does mean that it gives it a little bit more body,
rather than just him
going around and killing people. And you get
it works, but it won't work like for 13 episodes. You can't just watch that for 13 episodes or whatever.
Exactly. And I think it also introduces right at the end a different villain from the sort of Punisher storylines. So like a kind of Scarface type character. Cool. So it does deliver everything that I expected, basically. There are kind of things where you're like, he's been shot several times.
Just how it is in these universes.
He should be dead. And then people, like, there's a bit where like someone's beating him up, and then he's like, I want you to feel everything. So he injects Frank Castle, the Punisher, with adrenaline. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's give the like violent maniac a shot of adrenaline. So let's do that.
Would you say you'd have to watch, like, because Punisher plays in Daredevil, would you need to watch that to understand this, or do you think you watch it as a standalone and just enjoy it?
You can definitely watch it as a standalone. There's a lot of like flashbacks and like sort of dream sequences where he's with his wife and his kids. The first episode,
so many flashbacks of his wife. Okay, we get it, they're dead.
Yeah, there's like that bit where they're in bed and she gets shot, and he's like, no! That happens so many times over the series. That's the one thing I was like, okay, I get it now. I got it.
And then the first episode, I'm like, okay, I've seen this like 6 times already now. Like, okay, we get it, man. It was like in Wolverine Origins, when the second Wolverine movie where he keeps having flashbacks about Jean Grey like every 5 minutes in the film.
Oh my god, we get it. You were in love with her.
Exactly.
So
okay. Let's look at it from another side. Is there anything that you could have improved upon, or
so the sort of unrealistic things in it were sort of in your face, because obviously this is the kind of thing where he doesn't have any special powers. He's not Luke Cage.
He's just very
he's
tough.
not Daredevil. He's like super manly and tough, and really kind of he's the same character if you've ever watched Walking Dead as Shane, basically.
Nope, not seen it.
So John Bernthal plays a character in Walking Dead, and he's very much like ruthless in that as well. And he plays it very well. And he was also in Baby Driver. John Bernthal. He was like right in the beginning, in the first heist. I was really disappointed there because I like him as an actor, so I was sad about that. But no, this is. I think it's a great series, and you don't need to watch Daredevil. I'd say go and watch Daredevil anyway, because it's a good series.
Season 1 for sure.
Season 1 for sure. Season 2, if you want to get a feel of the Punisher, then do it. But
okay, right. So let's rank it. Okay, out of Punisher, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage. Forget Iron Fist. That's more flawed.
I haven't even watched Iron Fist or the Defenders, so I'd probably go with Daredevil first.
Good choice.
Purely because it's a little bit more intricate in the storyline.
Deep as well.
Yeah,
I Jessica Jones in that list for her own as well. Have you seen?
Yeah, I saw half of Jessica Jones and then kind of stopped and didn't go back.
Okay.
So I'd go Daredevil, Punisher, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Put it above Jessica Jones is a good one. So
definitely. But I did like Luke Cage as well. So it was okay.
I think that's this different tangent now we've discussed.
So three words about the Punisher is like blood and violence, and it's great. So,
blood and violence.
Blood and violence. That's all you need. If you just want to sit there and go, ooh, damn, all the way through.
Yeah,
that's
fair enough.
Okay, next piece. You did a bit of a throwback review the other day about Train to Busan. So we are going to do our little 1 minute review feature again.
Yeah, for miles because like it came out last year, it's not going to go along too much in it. But
exactly.
I found
so
it cheap online.
Got my little timer on. So
quick recap before we start. It's a Sakura movie about zombies, so that's the quick one.
All right,
get that out of the way. So just so you know,
that's cheating. I'm pretty sure that's cheating.
This film won't be heard of most people. So a brief one.
All right, so compose yourself.
I'm always never composed.
All right, ready and go.
Right, cool. So Train to Busan came out last year. As I said, it's a South Korean movie. I'm a very big fan of Korean movies. A very great little detour. But so this film follows a dad who has to escort his little estranged daughter to a train to Busan. Storyline, spoiler alert. So basically what happens is there's zombies on the train and an infected zombie manages to jump on the train, and it's a story of him having to survive with his passengers and make it to the end and get his daughter safe. Basically, so what I loved about this film is
30 seconds.
Oh crap, the action scenes are amazing. There's a lot of deep storylines involved in it, like it talks about social prejudice, how people can get into herd mentality, having to murder your friends, stuff like that. There's a good cast. It's got amazing zombie scenes. They're very intense. A lot of rage. It's like the rage zombies from 28 Days Later. They jump all over you. A lot of blood, a lot of intensity. And also, I'll say, watch it. You love it.
5,
and
4,
if you love zombie movies,
3,
you love this. If you don't watch it.
1. Nice.
Okay, I think I got it. I
think that was pretty good. I like
Considering
that.
I couldn't say any of the actors' names because I wouldn't be able to say them anyway.
Or like, just the colour of their shirt.
I'm not going to try to pronounce the director or anything. I'll just call them the hero, the dad, the daughter. But yeah, definitely if you love zombie movies and you've got some time to kill, I would just highly suggest it.
Is it on any kind of viewing platform?
No, it's not actually on Netflix. It's cause on Google. They've got 99p rental offer right now. So I thought, so I was like, let me just look at a film, and it's been on my mind for quite a while, so let me check it out. And yeah, Koreans do some good, lovely movies, so I'm a fan of that genre. So
all right then. So now I think we're moving on to our main review.
How long do you have for this?
I think we've got like another 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
So guess what? It's Justice League.
Guess.
I don't know what to say, man. So this is the coming together of the DC Extended Universe, Justice League.
All those underwhelming films come together.
Yeah, so, the new Batman, the new Superman, the new Wonder Woman. I mean, Wonder Woman you can't say is under it, but then you've got these other characters, the Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg, and they're going up against Steppenwolf. Yeah. Because every time I hear that, I just think Born to be Wild, Steppenwolf the band. He's not as rock and roll.
So this is like the DC's answer to the Avengers, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, depending on how you look at the comics and which came out first, I'm not really sure. But yeah, at the moment, talking about the cinematic and extended universe, they're trying really, really hard. They even hired Joss Whedon. I know it was because Zack Snyder had some family issues, and we're really sad about that. But I think personally, that was a bit too much of the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of director.
I think the main criticism, I mean, overall, I'm going to say the film wasn't like, initial signs are like it's going to be atrocious. It's not atrocious. No. It's firmly like in the middle of the park for me. It's like 40-50%.
I kind of came out, I said last time I was going to go in pretty indifferent. Yeah. I came out pretty indifferent as well. I was like, I wasn't horrifically disappointed. I wasn't angry about the fact I saw it, like when I saw Dark Tower. But then I wasn't happy that I saw it either. I was like, oh, I've like wasted a Saturday.
But there is enough in there to keep you happy. So I feel let's go into a bit more.
You go into your sort of good stuff.
Right. So let's start with good, or we're gonna start with bad?
Yeah, let's start with good.
Let's start with good.
Get it over.
Okay, good. I've got The Flash and Wonder Woman. I think those two stood out by far.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
I think Wonder Woman's already pretty much established as probably
the
most popular, the most fan loved character now.
Yeah.
And she's pretty good. Like what she does in Wonder Woman, she pretty much carries over to this. She's pretty much a de facto leader. She's badass. She pretty much takes everything on. She takes responsibility, and she's great.
Well, I like the fact that there was a bit of a character arc where, like, at the beginning she's like, no, let's do this, and then at the end she starts to realize that she should be a leader.
Yeah,
really.
she should like. And also the Flash. I was a bit skeptical about the fact that he's going to be a bit too needy from the trailers, but he's like all the best comic relief moments, all the best jokes are from the Flash, and I think he's totally nailed it there.
Yeah. So we have Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman again. Ezra Miller is playing the Flash.
Yeah, that's a great job.
He was in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. He was the like little kid, so I was
gets beaten up.
That gets just gets abused and then is like really sad and whiny and stuff. And I thought like obviously he was really good at acting in that, and I was like, oh, I don't know what he's going to do with the Flash, but I thought he was pretty good as the Flash. I haven't watched the series, and some people I know have, and they were a little bit worried.
He's a different actor, so obviously fans will naturally be like, oh, okay.
I think it's a bit of a different character as well.
Also working on a big Hollywood movie is totally different to working on a TV show, so I can understand why they made that change. But I think it worked anyway.
Yeah.
What else do I have? I've got the humour. You can tell the bits when Joss Whedon came in, and there's a lot of jokes in there every now and then. Some of it's a bit out of context, like it doesn't feel right.
I'd say that about the Aquaman joke when he like accidentally sits on the lasso of Hesia and just starts divulging all this stuff, and it's like verbal diarrhea, and you're like,
just emasculated the guy there.
Yeah, it's quippy.
But there's a lot of quips in it. I think there's a lot of, Flash and Cyborg have a lot of back and forth between each other. Batman is kind of very laid back and jokey now, and he just doesn't seem to take stuff seriously anymore.
Yeah.
Alfred is dropping one-liners 24/7.
I would say my favourite character is always Alfred.
Alfred's dropping one-liners.
Jeremy Irons is Alfred. He's not quite a Michael Caine, but he's up there for me.
I can't say it's really a spoiler about Superman. His name's in the credits, like he's in the opening credits, so you know he's gonna come back. Batman v Superman already said he's coming back, and when you look at the movie, it says Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, so you know. Yeah. So I'm not going to consider this as a spoiler per se, but I think
he's there.
I think Superman was done really well. This is how Superman should have been done. Like he's very like happy, a bit cocky, a bit a bit like I'm the man, I'm Superman. Whereas in other films, it's like, oh, I'm Superman, I want to... like, what's happening here? You're Superman, why are you so...
I liked the kind of, not the Man of Steel one, but the one from like the 90s or the early 2000s TV series.
Yeah, the DK and Terry Hatcher.
I loved it. Because, and
that's what Superman should be.
And he's not overly cocky, he's quite humble in
But you're going to be a bit arrogant because you are like...
When he comes in and he's like, this guy's still bothering you. And you're like, oh, why?
I think that's great. The action, I love that. I mean, especially the scene in Themyscira. How do you pronounce it? The Wonder Woman.
Themyscira.
The
island of the Amazon.
Yeah, we got the whole set piece there where they're like trying to prevent Steppenwolf from getting it. And it just goes on and they pass it along and along.
That was really good. I like action when it's very much they're interacting with one another, kind of like sort of the dwarves in the Hobbit movies and stuff like that. I thought that was really good. Yeah.
We also got other scenes such as the fight in this massive tank. Who did it fight when in the sewers? There's a little scene in the sewers. I think some aliens. What was it? Although I didn't end up in there. Was a Steppenwolf they fight.
Oh yeah, and it was like the bat tank.
Exactly, all that stuff. Like, because I think and he had a few other spoiler scenes, which a lot of fan service. But
that's when Aquaman turns up, and he is Aquaman.
So
he's got his trident and everything.
Batman v Superman didn't really have that much action in it. He is more Batman with his inner struggles, and Superman with his inner struggles of being gloomy.
And now you've got Batman with his inner struggles going, I killed Superman.
But at least they're punching stuff, and this is what comic movies should be about. Let's be honest, man. You want the character development. But at the same time, you want a bit of action and fun, because that's what you essentially go to this. So you don't go there to see Batman cry, then Superman cry, then they bond up with their mother's names and...
Yeah, that was... So, okay, moving on to the bad points.
Open this one.
Of this, I mean, nothing was like overly standout bad. There's a lot of things that have been circling around on the internet, which are quite funny. So first of all, I think we should address Henry Cavill's moustache. They spent millions on CGI to remove his mustache because they had to reshoot stuff.
Yo, I respect Paramount for just saying nope.
Nope, you're not allowed to shave. No,
they could have gone, shave it, we'll give him a fix. Nope, you can't.
Yeah, so he's involved with the film in Paramount as well, and they were like, so no, you're not allowed to shave his
His film Mission Impossible 6, basically.
Yeah.
Cavill, so he had to go to that afterwards. Then they realised they could bring him back.
Yeah.
It's just a farce.
So I think I was in the cinema and my friend turned to me and was like, "What's wrong with his face?" And he does look really odd.
It's all like plastic around here. It's like you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell something's really odd.
He's smiling really weirdly.
And then the other thing that's going around at the moment is the thing about the Amazon's outfits.
Yeah, but they're ripped. They're shredded.
They are absolutely shredded. I remember sitting there going, "Damn." Like,
if you're shredded, man, you're gonna be like, yo, check out these abs.
At the same time, though, you do have the comparison of you've got in Wonder Woman, you have a female costume designer, a female director, and they have like full-on body armor. Yes, they're in skirts, but Romans and Greeks. Yeah. But then you've got this one where it's male directors and a male costume designer, and they're in iron bikinis. And you're like, I know where your mind is going.
Maybe he's thinking they don't need armor because their abs are made of steel.
Steel, maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you go and join the sexist people. But
yeah, there's obviously you can see there's a clash.
You can see there's a bit of a weird thing there, but there's a lot of arguments going on about that on the internet. And then Amy Adams as Lois Lane.
Oh.
You smell good. I mean, he's been dead for a while, but
that's the first thing she says. They were like, I missed you. It's like, you still smell good. It's like, oh, did I smell bad? I'm like, oh, this is so bad. It's like,
I think that just made me cringe. Like that whole scene with them on the farm and everything. I was just like, can we just move on from this?
Lois Lane was done pretty bad in general. Like she's just moping around because her boyfriend's. I'm like, okay, fair enough, you can mourn, but like she's just like the whole movie. She's like just.
Yeah.
I can't write because Superman's. I'm like, just do something.
Yeah. And just like, do something, anything. They kept going back to it, but she
never really goes anywhere. Like, you didn't even be in this movie.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And she's like his kryptonite. Ha ha ha. And the big guns or whatever Batman calls it.
Let's not spoil that too much.
And just the general kind of feel of the movie was very like choppy. Yeah, like the fact that going back to the two different directors here, like you've got the very sort of dark Zack Snyder stuff. It's like everyone's dark and brooding and my insides hurt. And then you've got Joss Whedon coming in and
banter,
it's like quick. Everyone should be laughing. Yeah. And it's like that works for Avengers. I feel like
that's that DNA of the
exactly, and and he is the Avengers director. So, but like this, I feel like this would have worked better if it was a little more of the dark, and maybe if he'd have toned that down to sort of be in line with what Zack Snyder had started, it would have turned out.
Yeah, because you can definitely because the jokes do just come up randomly. Like you can tell what scenes were done by Snyder and what scenes were done by Whedon, because it's like one moment is all serious, and the next minute is bantering on their ship and something. Like, okay, well,
the planes and tanks and everything coming out of everywhere.
But and speaking of CGI, right?
Yeah.
Henry Cavill's Tash, not just like it's just the entire CGI in the movie. Cyborg looks so bad. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, all that they had a near 300 million budget. Yeah, that's the best you can do. It's like that's what makes it sad.
And then someone pointed out the fact that like you've got you hear the story about Steppenwolf when he first came to Earth, and you've got a massive army of Atlanteans, Amazonians. You've got the Lanterns.
Yeah.
And you've got the true gods, and you've got humans, and they, were almost annihilated by Steppenwolf. Yeah. But Superman comes in, and all is fine.
Yeah, I think that brings on to the other point, which is the villain was just atrocious. He was very generic. Like they was comparing him to Malekith from For the Dark World. I'm like, even Malekith wasn't that boring, man. It's just like he doesn't like he's supposed to be some big boss, but he just gets owned at the end. He's like an afterthought at the end of the movie. He's just like it's such an easy win for them. It's like, what's the point of building this guy up? Like he got his loot boxes or loot crates over he wanted to bring them together, and like nothing happens with it. It's just like, okay, that you build him up the entire movie and it goes nowhere. Like he just gets owned, like disposed of. It doesn't. There's no tension whatsoever. Yeah.
And like I thought Cyborg was really like just such a downer.
I like Cyborg in the sense that he actually meant something to the team. Like he was actually there for a reason. He actually had a purpose.
Because he's
going in, I was like, who's Cyborg? And I'm like, okay, I can see why he's in there because it's actually pretty important to the whole.
Yeah.
universe,
like
to be honest.
the development of his powers and,
Yeah.
and how they change and stuff is quite interesting.
Yeah.
The Flash, yeah, I thought he was pretty funny, and I did like him. The weird like competition between him and Superman was quite funny. The other person who can't let go of anything is Wonder Woman. Ben Affleck just gives her a smackdown. It's like, can you not mope and whine about a guy who died 100 years ago?
I mean, he's like, everyone in the back was like, yeah, he's right.
He's kind of
He's
right.
kind of right.
Like Captain Steve, that was what World War One?
Yeah.
Captain Steve, whatever. And
Batman calls her out.
yeah, but can't call himself out for being a whiny bats thing. I am fear.
And another thing I think got bad. I think Aquaman got bad deal character-wise.
Yeah.
I think just Momoa plays him well, plays him great. He's got the intensity, the swag, everything, but his character's useless. Like, cause he is Aquaman, so if you're fighting on land, you can't. I mean, he has a few badass moments, but
he does when he's like when they're sort of like jumping from thing to thing, he gets like flown into the air.
Wonder Woman can do that, so it's like
yeah, he's like the water version of Wonder Woman.
So I'm surprised they didn't try and put more. Well, trying to take the fight to water or something to make him a bit more useful, because he is literally just there.
Yeah, like when Steppenwolf comes to take the other box.
Yeah. Like,
if he'd have done more in that scene, that would have been really
they
good.
tease his solo film, but it's not enough to see. Like, so you kind of like, I don't care. I cared about Cyborg more than I did about Aquaman, to be honest.
I disagree with that, but purely because I like Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
So
I'm analysing from a critique
yes,
point of view.
I
can see what you mean. Like,
because I remember before I went to see it, you said something about this, and I did agree that he is intense and he's a bit like blasé at the beginning, and then sort of builds a little bit more into the team, but yeah, he's not in there as much. And yeah, there is a bit where like him and Wonder Woman are the two that are holding Steppenwolf back.
But it's mainly Wonder Woman.
It's Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman is like, but I'm sorry, the butt shots of her all the time. I saw
on the plane where like they come and surrounding me with the camera. Why? What's that?
It's like it's like framing one side of the lens, and you're like, is that completely necessary?
Yeah, I was like, it's so but it's just all over. That's definitely Zack Snyder's.
Yeah, there's a journalist that calls it the male gaze of like directors and stuff. It's just
so obvious. Like
it is obvious.
I mean,
the minions were weird. Those like parademons.
I think what else I did want to say is Batman also, he got a bad end of the stick here. Like, he's just complaining for the entire movie, like, I'm getting too old, or it's my fault Superman died. It's not your fault, Superman's fault Superman died, because he decided to throw the damn thing in it.
Yeah, he got too close.
Yeah, and even though Wonder Woman could have done it in Batman v Superman, they gave it to Superman because they had this huge male ego competition going on. Yeah. So I think Batman just spends the entire movie a bit sad. He's like, I don't really want to. Like, he doesn't even assemble a team. He just hacked into Lex Luthor's database and got all the information there.
Yeah.
So he's not even doing any hard work, to be honest. He's like hacking the files. But most of this movie he just spends getting his ass kicked, or just complaining, or being a bit depressed. I'm like, come on, man, you're Batman. You are like
rich.
In the comic. Yeah, the rich joke is funny, but they did kind of play upon it a bit too much.
Yeah.
Like, okay, get over. We know he's rich, but because in the comic, like, he is pretty much on equal footing with Superman and Wonder Woman. They've got the strength, but he's got like the cerebral side of him. He's the planner. He's the he pulls all the strings. But here, he doesn't get to show any of that. He's pretty much just on the sidelines. Come on.
Yeah. And another thing, going back to Wonder Woman again, going back to the trailer, actually, they showed quite a lot in the trailer. So like, it's one of those trailers where it's just like action. You don't know anything about the storyline, and the entire first scene in the film that you see Wonder Woman, that entire scene is in the trailer.
I know. I was like, it's not even like cut. It's like, no, that's the entire.
It's a pointless scene.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like, it doesn't really add anything to the story. You see that scene and you're like, oh, are these going to be the bad guys?
No. They disappear.
That's it. That is all they do. They attempt to blow up a building and they fail, and she beats.
They don't give a reason. Like, we just want to change the world. And what?
Yeah, as you have this thing like, oh, we're revolutionary, and then it dies. Also, like every revolution.
Also, doesn't make sense is that Wonder Woman is actually watching this stuff before it happens, and she just lets everyone die until it gets to the school kids. Then she comes in to save the day. I'm like, what?
Why?
You let all this
drama.
I know. I'm like, wait, well, no, you can't pull that here. You let all those innocent guards die while he's kept watch from up there, but then you come in to save them. Fair enough, he saved others, but you let a couple of people die at the same time.
Yeah.
No, you got to balance them out. You can't just.
Right, I think I think we should leave it there.
Yeah, we could probably go to an extended.
We could probably do it.
Because if Mo was him, I'm pretty sure they're like...
Mo would tear it apart. And we could just... you know what? I'd just sit there and go, this is going to be good.
this is going to be the popcorn out.
Yeah, so I think what we're trying to say is there's a lot of holes, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it is... You go in, you'd watch it, and you'll be perfectly fine with it.
Yeah.
I mean, my review is... It's fine. Like it's
just fine.
It's not amazing. It's like Avengers. I can watch quite a few might watch it again, but there's just no real.
It's kind of like when I watched Batman v Superman for the second time to go, maybe no.
if he's on like ITV2 or something, I'd watch it or something.
Probably
but
will be.
Like,
We're in film 4 in a year. And I'd agree. It's just fine. Going to our predictions for last year. I said I was generous with 52%.
Last year, you mean?
Last show, sorry. I'm talking about years again.
So Rotten Tomatoes, what is it at now?
Yeah, so mine was 52, yours was 46, Mo's was 34. Current Rotten Tomatoes score is 41%. Yeah. So you are the closest.
Thank you.
So you have the predictions from now on.
I'm the prediction king for the show. But I just knew from the talent alone, it can't be that bad. And there's so many.
I mean, 41% is still pretty low.
Oh, it's low. I mean, like I said, it's slap bang in the middle.
Yeah. I like the trailers now that have coming out for it. Only have about 2 reviews, which are the 4-star ones. Whereas when Avengers comes out, the trailers are on after it's come out, and it's like 5, 5, 5, 5,
also,
5, 5, 5, 5.
Stop coming out soon after Marvel movie because it makes it look so bad.
Just stop it.
You could come out anytime, but not after Thor Ragnarok, which is amazing. It's like
exactly.
You can't just.
I mean, you know what? Seeing this makes me like Thor more.
Like for Batman when they released it right before Civil War. Then when Civil War came, it's made it look even more worse. Just stop.
And isn't Black Panther coming out soon as well?
But will it be clashing with any DC property or?
I know, but it's still it's sandwiched in the middle of Thor and Black Panther.
Coming out because Infinity Wars is in April, so I think Black Panther comes out in January or something like that. So it's kind of sandwiched in the middle. Yeah. So. And
it's just a bad mix. Just stop it. Okay. So. Yeah, go and see that. Maybe catch up on Train to Busan. If you don't want to do that, go and watch Netflix and watch Punisher.
I do make one point. You mentioned the trailers. I think what I've decided now is to stop watching trailers for big movies. So like Star Wars, whenever it comes, I don't really pay attention because I want to save it.
You can't. If you're going to the cinema, you can't avoid.
I just got my phone or something. So, I'm gonna listen to the periphery. I'm not really gonna focus on it because there's big movies now. They reveal so much. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I can watch a trailer for Daddy's Home 2, doesn't bother me.
True.
If I see big, I'm gonna.
I mean, I've already got the tickets, so we're going to see episodes 7 and 8 next, a little sort of double bill on the day of release. So we're going to see the new one at midnight because me and my friends are all super nerds and we love Star Wars. And my friend works for Disney, so we're loving it.
Super nerds do this show.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to that. Are you looking forward to
course,
Star Wars?
This is
a Star Wars movie, of course it is. And then after that, the Han Solo movie. Han Solo solo movie.
I don't know. I'm on Infinity Wars hype after that. So
such a Marvel.
I'm waiting for that trailer still, man. But yeah, that's the next hype after Star Wars.
You're a Marvel groupie.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, we'll leave it there. Yeah. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.
See ya. Bye.